don't you guys kill someone tonight?
Because we don't feel the need to, Johnny.
Just remember all the good the Purge does.
We'll be fine just like always. No worries, okay?
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge. At the siren, all emergency services will be suspended for 12 hours. Your government thanks you for your participation.
Help me! Someone, please, help me! I just need to get someone safe. Does anybody hear me?
Let's go! This way!
Tony!
This way, hurry!
Our target for this year's Purge is hiding in your home. You have 1 hour to find him and give him to us, or we'll kill all of you.
They can't get in here, right? They can't get into our home.
Hi, Steve here. The Purge was a series of dystopian action horror films. The movie and the series describe the nightmarish circumstances where it's just agreed upon that the government will allow lawlessness to have a special time to work its atrocities and horrors. That lawlessness will be permitted to wreak havoc and chaos for 1 day a year. Unfortunately, lawlessness doesn't wait for a 12-hour period to wreak havoc on mankind. Jesus said, because lawlessness will multiply, the love of many will grow cold, and because iniquity will abound, the love of many will wax cold. Another translation says, because lawlessness is increased, the love of most people will grow cold. And finally, the complete Jewish Bible says it this way: many people's love will grow cold because of increased distance from Torah. In other words, what God said in the first 5 books of the Bible. His instructions, his teachings, and his law. Not unlike many other corporations with retail locations in cities nationwide, Target is calling it quits on Philadelphia. They follow in the footsteps of Wawa, who last year had enough of Philadelphia's crime and also picked up and left shop at several locations in Center City. We see this pattern increasing because crime is exploding. Target, located just blocks from one of Wawa's that recently closed, is taking the same action, according to the Philadelphia Business Journal. Its store will be closing after 7 years of operation. Target's also going to be closing 3 other stores, 1 in its hometown of Minneapolis and 2 in the Washington, D.C. area, just like what happened with Walmart in Portland. In Chicago, CME CEO Terry Duffy says employees are too scared to return to the office due to Chicago's crime surge. Looks like the incredible crime-fighting skills of Lori Lightfoot have already driven Ken Griffin out of Chicago. Now it looks like CME Group Inc.'s Terry Duffy could be next. Duffy had already been outspoken to Chicago's mayor about fighting crime, and that was before his wife was carjacked. Duffy said on a podcast, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my wife got carjacked right in the city of Chicago, and it's absolutely insane what's going on here. 90% of the carjackings in Chicago are done by juveniles. So the juveniles go in and they come right back out, literally an hour later. Speaking of more lawlessness within this country, we now have video reports that it was Ukraine bombing their own people with U.S.-provided weapons. The establishment media is afraid of allowing taxpayers to learn their money is being used to murder civilians. But people in America are finally waking up. A study found that half of Americans believe media intends to mislead and misinform. And as we push towards the fulfillment of end times prophecy, we see that Deutsche Bank and the WEF look towards the end of cash, making the prophecy and revelation a reality. And it makes everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on his right hand or on his forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, the beast's name or the number of its name. That's the end goal of their tyranny. The pandemic is credited with expediting matters on this front, particularly in Sweden, while the rate at which governments seem to be moving in the digital currency direction is alarming. The level of lawlessness within America's so-called government is obvious to all who can think clearly. The leader of France's Eurosceptic party, the Patriots, responded to continuing controversy over the Nord Stream pipeline attack by asserting it was obvious that the Americans were behind the bombing. America's demise is expected. Our demise is planned and continues to be implemented by traitors within our government, haters of America all over the world, and China is already planning to be the post-America world leader of the New World Order. Will we be able to pull up before we crash and burn? I don't think so, but I'm praying that we will. And I hope others in the faith are praying too. I'll tell you who the believers are that are not praying. They're those who are still watching mainstream media and are still dumbed down in ignorance. If you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, if you've never repented of your sins and asked Jesus Christ to be the Lord of your life by putting your faith and trust completely in Him and in His name, then I strongly urge you to do just that before another minute goes by. Because this world, and especially America, is in a tailspin. And when it crashes, if you're not ready, you will enter eternity with only one destination. I leave a link in the description box below that will help lead you in a simple prayer. But the prayer itself is not the end of your relationship with God. It's only the starting point. Think about it.